So some very serious health concerns regarding Donald Trump are once again surfacing as he's set to go to Walter Reed Medical Center on Friday for what the White House is referring to as a routine yearly checkup. You see, the issue is that they claimed he already had a routine yearly checkup back on April 11th. There, the purported doctor said that Donald Trump was perfectly healthy as evidenced by the fact that he wins many golf tournaments. That was a direct quote from those, what I thought were very phony medical reports at the time. Now, we're also learning about some other data points that suggest real serious health issues, both cognitive as well as physical. There have been many speculating before that Donald Trump had a series of mini strokes that actually date back to his first term, and that may have occurred again. Now, we're seeing, for example, yesterday, Marco Rubio having to write notes to Donald Trump in very big letters that the press was able to capture. We need you to approve your social media post on the Truth Social platform to announce the deal, the purported ceasefire deal in Gaza, which we'll actually see what that really means. Donald Trump announces fake deals all the time. But what was very clear that someone else is writing Donald Trump's posts. But what we also learned is that when Donald Trump thinks he's sending direct messages to his cabinet members, messages that, by the way, are unlawful, he's posted those publicly. So one very serious message that I believe is incredibly illegal, that message that he sent to Pam Bondi, where he said, Pam, I need you to go and attack my political opponents, James Comey, Adam Schiff, and New York Attorney General Letitia James. Well, Wall Street Journal reported yesterday that that message was a direct message to Attorney General Pam Bondi. It was not supposed to be posted public, but Donald Trump accidentally posted it public because he's not really cognitively there anymore. I mean, when you see Donald Trump's response to this government shutdown and just his speech patterns in general, it was always very bad. I think during the 2024 election, it was certainly getting worse, and we called it out a lot. He would tell the stories about Hannibal Lecter, his best friend, imaginary serial killer friends that he had. He would talk about shark attacks and his fear of being electrocuted. He would talk about looking at the penises of golfers in the showers. Arnold Palmer's penis he would talk about, and corporate media wouldn't talk about it. We would say, doesn't seem to be there, but it's getting even worse. I mean, now he's out talking about getting $17 trillion in tariff shelves, that there are these tariff shelves with $17 trillion and he has all this money, yet at the same time, our government's run out of money. Hence, we're in a shutdown. So that doesn't really make sense. Just the way he blames migrants and transgender surgeries in Peru or something for the shutdown. American people are looking at him like, dude, what the hell are you talking about? Then he pretends to be negotiating with Democratic leaders Jeffries and Schumer when there's no conversations taking place at all. And then just his behavior in front of world leaders, what you saw at the United Nations, not just unhinged, but just mentally not there. I mean, yelling at escalators, yelling at teleprompters. Again, the behavior is unhinged. And that's not even to mention, the rotting and decaying hand. I mean, you see his mouth, the droopy mouth, which is kind of symptoms of a stroke. There seems to be again, I'm not a doctor, so let me be very clear. I'm giving you my opinions, and they're also informed by my discussions with world-renowned doctors who I talk to, which is why I think mini strokes, serious cardiovascular issues, and/or kidney and/or liver issues, those ankles really look awful, very swollen, like basketball ankles, the decaying hand, rotting, looks like he put his hand in like a piranha tank that ate it. He's unable to stay awake during the day, and it just seems that all of his advisors know that he's not there, and they're all kind of using him as a vessel for all of their agendas. I want to be careful, of course, that given his authoritarianism, given how horrific he is, I don't want to use mental condition and physical condition as an excuse to push aside that this is an individual who's engaging in crimes, who needs to be held accountable for his behavior. So I want to be clear about that, but I also can't ignore what's happening before our very eyes. I want to break it down the way I would when I was once a trial lawyer to you, as though I was making the case to a jury that it is possible that Donald Trump has dementia. Again, I don't know. I'm just an opinion. This is an opinion piece, okay? Possible he has mini strokes and serious cardiovascular issues that's resulting in the swelling that we see. He's unable to walk straight. He can't walk in a straight line. He zigzags. He walks in Z's. So let's just go through this. So the White House put out a statement yesterday that says on Friday morning, Trump will visit Walter Reed Medical Center for a planned meeting and remarks with troops. Notice he uses the troops again as a way to kind of cover up his own inadequacies. While there, President Trump will stop by for his routine yearly checkup. He will then return to the White House. President Trump is considering going to the Middle East shortly thereafter, and that's signed White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. But take a look right here. This is his annual physical, April 13, 2025, and it literally says, subject, President Donald J. Trump's annual physical examination results. So you don't have two annuals in a year. You could have multiple physicals, but you don't call it an annual. You'll see over here, they claim that his height is 75 inches and his weight is 224 pounds. That's how you already know this is a fraudulent report, in my opinion. Dude does not weigh 224 pounds. Let's be very clear. But then when you go to the summary of his health, it says President Trump remains in excellent health. And it says that it is evidenced by his multiple meetings, public appearances, press availability, and frequent victories in golf events. Now, that's not a health indicator, nor did he really win those events. He cheats while he plays golf, which we've showed you multiple times, but you don't go to a doctor and they go, you're very healthy, you're winning lots of golf tournaments, okay? That just doesn't make sense. Now, I will remind you all that back when Donald Trump's doctor was that guy, Dr. Harold Bornstein, remember that kind of weirdo doctor? Harold Bornstein admitted to CNN in 2018 that Donald Trump forged the medical reports. That was what Bornstein said. Bornstein died in 2021, I think. But back in 2015, you had a ridiculous note. Look at all the typos and issues that are underlined and circled here. I don't need to waste your time going through it, but it's obviously written by somebody else. Like, to whom my concern, it says, that showed only positive results. And then it says that Donald Trump would be the healthiest individual ever elected to the presidency. Again, we know that's just a ridiculous statement to make. I'll remind you that back in 2019, lots of doctors were speculating then that he had the mini stroke. I'll just remind you, this is a world-renowned doctor, Dr. Shiner. He was Obama's doctor, and he was picking up Donald Trump's slurring of the words back then and said, I think he had a mini stroke. Here, let's just play this clip to remind you.
His inability to say words sometimes worries me tremendously. He is having trouble word finding when he said United States instead of United States. These aren't words. These aren't slips of the tongue. These are words, he can't find them. And this is happening over and over again. Comedians joke about it, but it's not a joking matter. I think there is a neurological issue that is not being addressed. And if he had an MRI of his head over there, I would be very pleased, because I think he needs it.
Is that something that could have happened in the 2-hour time he was there?
Yes, it certainly could. And it's the worry that I have is that maybe he's having small strokes. And, we had that once before in the White House when Woodrow Wilson was president. His inability to find words is peculiar and has not been explained. And I think one has to think of it as a possible neurological issue.
Ever wake up sweaty, freezing, or just uncomfortable? The temperature in your bedroom can make or break your sleep. That's why I switched to Miracle Made sheets. They're inspired by NASA technology and use silver-infused temperature-regulating fabric to help you sleep perfectly all night long. Miracle Made sheets are crafted with NASA-inspired silver-infused fabric that helps regulate your body temperature. Hot sleeper, cold sleeper, it doesn't matter. These sheets help keep you in the comfort zone all night long. Thanks to their antibacterial silver technology, Miracle Made sheets stay cleaner and fresher up to 3 times longer than regular sheets. That means fewer odors, fewer wash cycles, and way less laundry. They feel just as good, if not better, than sheets you'd find at a 5-star hotel, but without the steep price tag. Smooth, breathable, and ridiculously comfortable. Upgrade your sleep or give the gift of better rest. Go to trymiracle.com/Meidas to try Miracle Made sheets today. You'll save over 40%, and when you use promo code Meidas, you'll get an extra 20% off plus a free 3-piece towel set. They make an amazing gift. With a 30-day money-back guarantee, there's no risk. That's trymiracle.com/Meidas, code Meidas at checkout. Thanks to Miracle Made for sponsoring this episode.
Okay, now let me show you the Wall Street Journal report. So the Wall Street Journal reported yesterday that Donald Trump's post to Pam Bondi, where he said, Pam Bondi, I've reviewed over 30 statements in Post. The same old story. Go after Comey, Schiff, and Letitia. Also, even though this was a DM, again, if somebody sent you a text message or a DM that looked like this, you'd probably naturally say this is someone with real cognitive issues or mental issues, just the way it's written, even if it is a DM or posted publicly. So here's what the Wall Street Journal reports. On September 20th, Trump meant to send a private message to Attorney General Pam Bondi, urging her to prosecute FBI Director James Comey and his other favored targets, according to U.S. officials familiar with the matter. Quote, "We can't delay any longer. It's killing our reputation and credibility," Trump wrote. Trump believed he had sent Bondi the message directly, addressing it to Pam, and was surprised to learn it was public, the official said. Bondi grew upset and called White House aides and Trump, who then agreed to send a second post praising Bondi as doing a very good job. Again, that's some totally unhinged stuff. Also, Politico, which rarely writes positive pieces about Democrats, in my opinion, and usually writes more flattering pieces of Republicans and MAGA, or at least normalizes this dynamic when you have an authoritarian regime. Their headline was, Trump's off-script comments cause shutdown headaches for GOP. Donald Trump, Johnson, and Majority Leader Thune are straining to project a united front against Democrats, and they are struggling to figure out a way how to get out of this. I mean, again, let's just show you some other data points as well. Yesterday, Donald Trump held that bizarre press conference in the Oval Office with those right-wing influencers, and Donald Trump was asked about habeas corpus, suspending habeas corpus. He doesn't know what the word habeas corpus means. He thought habeas corpus was a person. He was like, suspending who? Here, play this clip.
I also have 2 questions for you, if I may. Have you given any more thought to possibly suspending habeas corpus to not only deal with these insurrectionists across the nation, but also to continue rapidly deporting illegal aliens?
Yeah, it's suspending who?
Habeas corpus. So.
Oh, I don't know. I'd rather leave that to Christie. What do you think?
No, sir, I haven't been a part of any discussions on that.
And here you'll see Donald Trump's mouth starts drooping as he struggles to stay awake during what he's referring to as an Antifa roundtable. Let's play it.
That I've been covering violence in the streets. Just this year, just this year, it's always been from left-wing people, radical left-wing people. And it's not even just Antifa anymore. The shooting that happened the defensive shooting that happened in the Chicago area, that wasn't someone dressed in black bloc. That was just somebody that had.
And then Donald Trump started talking about beautiful black women wearing MAGA hats. Again, that's pretty weird behavior right there as well. And then to show you Donald Trump's behavior in front of world leaders, this is when and he keeps saying that he got $17 trillion. And, these world leaders, whether it's UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer or whether it's Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney or whoever, they're looking at him like this is an unwell human being. And they stare there, but the blank stare is that of bewilderment, and they're seeing it in front of them, that this is someone who is cognitively just out of it. So here Donald Trump was with Keir Starmer bragging about bringing in $17 trillion. And watch Keir Starmer's face as well. Here, play this clip.
We'll have more than $17 trillion invested in our country this year. 17 trillion, which is many, many times what we had last year. And we're only in our just about almost 9th month. It's moving along quickly. It's amazing. I was saying we're in our 3rd month, our 4th month, our 5th month, but we're at, it's going to be over $17 trillion. No country has ever had anything like that, even close.
And this is when Donald Trump was with Prime Minister Carney talking about bringing in $17 trillion and that we're so rich and America has $17 trillion. We don't have $17 trillion. We didn't bring in our entire GDP annually is $32 trillion. We didn't bring in $17 trillion in investment. We ran a $2 trillion deficit in the past fiscal year. Companies are not hiring. The Bureau of Labor Statistics is not even publishing jobs data or inflation data or any data. Why would we be having a deficit right now if you brought in all of this direct investment? We didn't. Why is there a construction and manufacturing recession? This is all, it's a lie. It's a Ponzi scheme, but he's also someone who's deeply, deeply unwell. Here, play this clip.
I mean, we have the same conflict. So there isn't, it's something that will get worked out. There's still great love between the two countries, but, American people want product here. They want to make it here. Detroit was emptied out and moved to Canada, moved to Mexico, moved to other places, not just Canada. And now they're all moving back, they're moving back. We have, right now, I was just telling Mark, we have 17 trillion, but it's really much higher. That was as of a couple of months ago. Yeah. We have over $17 trillion being invested now in the United States.
And again, I'll just remind you, this is the evidence that Trump dictated the 2015 letter to his doctor. This was reported back in May 2018. Play this clip.
We ran into Dr. Harold Bornstein right here, right outside his office on Park Avenue. And he told us in no uncertain terms, and this is the quote, Aaron, he being Trump, he dictated that whole letter. I didn't write that letter, meaning that Trump dictated what he wanted to go into it, and essentially Bornstein wrote it up. He did say, he compared it to the movie Fargo, and he said it takes the truth and moves it in a different direction. Think about that. Now, Bornstein tells us that he was in a car with his wife when he was on the phone with then candidate Trump in December of 2015. And she was going through with Trump what he could say and what he couldn't say. Trump was dictating what he wanted in that letter. And Bornstein was saying, okay, you can say that, you can't say that. He then came here to the office. He wrote it up. Trump's office later picked it up. He said around 4 p.m. Aaron, we have reached out to the White House, but we have not gotten a response.
And let us not forget also that Donald Trump sent in his thugs in 2018 to basically take his medical records from his doctor, Harold Bornstein, because he didn't want the public to know about him. This is what Bornstein said at the time when he was still alive. Play this clip.
Exactly were they looking for?
All his medical records, his pictures, anything they could find. We must have been here for 25 to 30 minutes. We created a lot of chaos. I couldn't believe anybody was making a big deal about a drug that's to grow his hair, which seemed to be so important. And it certainly is not a breach of medical trust to tell somebody they take Propecia to grow their hair. What's the matter with that?
So yeah, a deeply sick, unwell Donald Trump. We'll keep you posted every step of the way, but this is, in my view, a 25th Amendment issue. Absolutely. This is, in my view, an issue that needs to be discussed publicly. This is far more serious than on Biden's worst day. Every day with Donald Trump is, in my view, 1,000 times worse than Biden on his worst day. Biden would mispronounce words. I mean, yeah, sure. Biden was bad in the debate, like really bad in the debate. Stuttered. He was slow out of it. But it's just like Trump every day. Like Trump's like worse than that every day. Like we were all watching it, right? We all see it. But everyone made a big deal about that. We should be making a big deal about what's going on here with Trump. And do you really believe that, just because he's speaking with the troops on Friday, that's anything other than the pretext for whatever the hell serious thing is going on in the hospital? Let me know what you think. Please leave a comment. Seriously, I want your comments. So leave a comment below. I'd love to read them. I try to read all of the comments. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million. I appreciate you.
New Midas merch. Head to store.MeidasTouch.com today and get yourself the best pro-democracy gear and show your support. That's store.MeidasTouch.com.